If you've ever found yourself staring at your phone, heart pounding, wondering if he's thinking of you the way you're thinking of him, go ahead and press that like button, subscribe, and buckle in. Because today's lesson isn't just dating advice, it's a whole emotional awakening. We're about to unravel the truth of how a man falls in love. Not just once, but more and more, day after day, layer after layer. This is not about manipulation, it's about magnetism. This is dating wisdom, rooted in stoicism, sprinkled with soul, and served with the spice of ancient philosophy. And trust me, it's advice you haven't heard before. Welcome back to the channel where we mix stoicism with Simone de Beauvoir, stir in some Carl Jung, and pour the wisdom of Plato straight into your heart, all to help you become the kind of woman he doesn't just notice, but the one he remembers in the quiet, the one who stays with him even in the arms of someone else. Because this isn't ordinary love advice. This is dating for women who reign. Have you ever looked into a man's eyes and wondered, does he really feel me, or is he just passing through? Love, the real kind, isn't built on the rush of first attraction. It's built in layers, in energy, in the quiet things. This isn't about chasing, proving, or performing. This is about becoming the kind of woman a man can't stop falling for, not once, but over and over again. Lovely woman, this isn't about tricking his heart. It's about awakening yours. Because when you live with intention, depth, and softness, a man doesn't just love you. He keeps discovering you again and again. Think about it. Real love isn't fireworks, it's firewood. It's not the explosion at the start. It's the slow, steady burn that keeps the whole house warm. It's the moment he sees you laughing with your friends and suddenly falls in love all over again. The way you sip your coffee like the world can wait. The way you go quiet instead of argue, because peace is your love language. That's the magic, not what you give him, but how he feels when he's around you. Safe, seen, stirred. As the philosopher Schopenhauer once said, a man can do what he wants, but not want what he wants. And that's exactly what we're about to tap into. That invisible thread of energy and emotion that pulls him back to you, even when his logic doesn't understand why. We're going to speak to his soul in a way that his ego can't interrupt. And don't worry, we'll do it without games, without changing who you are, and without sacrificing 1 ounce of your crown. So, here's your fun little mission before we dive deep. I want you to write this in the comments and claim it. It's just 4 words, but it's a whole new vibration. Type, "Love grows with me." Say it to yourself. Say it to the universe. Say it to the version of you who once doubted she could ever be the one he couldn't stop falling for. Because you're not here to be liked. You're here to be loved more and more. What's coming next? Let's just say, if you thought falling in love was about how you look, wait until we talk about how your silence becomes his craving, how your presence becomes his compass, and how your soul makes him feel like he's finally home. Ready? Let's begin. Number 1, make him feel like he's seen you for the first time, every time. Okay, lovely woman, I know this one might sound a little tricky at first. Make him feel like he's seeing me for the first time. Every time. Like, what does that even mean? Are we supposed to change our hair every week? Wear red lipstick on Mondays and disappear on Tuesdays? No, take a breath. I'm here to make this simple and soulful, just like love should be. Because this is where the magic really begins. You see, when most people talk about love, they talk about the chase, the chemistry, the first date sparks. But what they don't tell you is that lust dies in routine and real love blooms in curiosity. If a man feels like he already knows everything about you, his mind stops exploring. But when you stay connected to your growth, your passions, your playful contradictions, you become endlessly discoverable. And that's addictive. Let me give you an example. Think of a garden. Yes, a beautiful little secret garden. If the same flower blooms every day, in the same spot, in the same way, the visitor stops noticing. It becomes background. But imagine that every time he walks in, something's shifted. A new blossom, a new fragrance, a surprise tucked in the leaves. He's curious. He's engaged. He keeps coming back, wondering, what will I find today? That garden is you. Not because you're pretending, but because you're becoming, evolving, not for him, but for you. And that evolution keeps the relationship alive. Now, remember this quote: "Beauty of the soul shines out when a man loves the good within a person." That's Plato talking, not about outer beauty, but about the part of you he sees when everything else fades. When the makeup is off, when life gets messy, when you're not trying to impress, but you're fully present. Your kindness, your resilience, your humor, your weird little laugh at your own jokes, that's the soul shining through. Let's make it even simpler. You don't have to perform mystery. You are mystery. You're not here to become someone new every week. You're here to stay deeply connected to all the pieces of yourself, your quiet parts, your wild parts, your dreams, your fears, your weird quirks. That's what keeps him enchanted. Not because you're hiding anything, but because you're so beautifully unfolding. Still not sure how to unfold without forcing it? Here's how you do it. Keep doing what lights you up. Pick up that hobby you abandoned. Talk about that weird book you love. Share your real opinions, not the ones you think he wants. Dance in the kitchen to songs only you like. Show up in your wholeness, not your girlfriend version. The more you live from your truth, the more you become a moving target of fascination, in the best way. And here's the fun part. You don't need to try to be different to keep his interest. You just need to stay curious about yourself. That energy, that self-love, he feels it, and it makes him feel like every day with you is new. Like he's discovering a woman, not memorizing a role. So before we move on, I want you to write this in the comments and claim it with your whole heart. Just 4 words. I keep love curious. Say it like a promise, like a vibe, like your new favorite love language. Because what's coming next? Oh, you're going to love it. We're going to talk about holding space without pressure, the art of giving a man room to rise, and why that makes him chase you even harder. Yes, even the emotionally unavailable ones. Get ready, Queen. You're not just building love, you're building a love that lasts. Number 2, hold space, not pressure. All right, gorgeous. Now this one might feel a little counterintuitive at first, like, wait, so I'm supposed to do nothing, just hold space. And I hear you, I get it. In a world where we're taught to go after what we want, holding space can sound like doing absolutely nothing and hoping for the best. But let me tell you a secret. This is actually one of your most powerful love moves. Because here's the truth. Pressure doesn't create love. It creates performance. And when someone's performing, they're not connecting. They're reacting. But when you hold space, you allow real feelings to rise. His feelings. On his timeline. Not forced, not faked, felt. That's what makes it real. Think of it like this. Ever tried to catch a butterfly with both hands, chasing after it? It flutters away, but if you stay still, calm, open, it might land right on your shoulder. That's what emotional space does. It creates a quiet kind of gravity that draws him in, not because he's being pushed, but because he wants to come closer. Now remember what the Stoics teach. Control is not about holding on, it's about letting go of what isn't yours to manage. Let's break that down. His feelings, not yours to manage. His timeline, not yours to rush. Your job? Be so in tune with yourself, so confident in your value, that you don't need to grab love, because you attract it. And girl, let's be honest, holding space doesn't mean you're waiting on him like a doormat. It means you're living fully while giving him room to choose you. Big difference. You're not ignoring him. You're allowing him the freedom to feel, not just function. So here's your affirmation for this chapter. Type it in the comments and claim it like the queen you are. My stillness pulls him. Let that be your energy. Calm, confident, magnetic. And up next, we're going to talk about how your personal evolution, your becoming, makes him fall even deeper. Because when he sees you growing, glowing, unfolding into your highest self, that's when love goes from a spark to a flame. Let's go. Number 3. Let him witness your becoming. All right, I know this idea might sound a little strange at first. Let him witness my becoming? Like, what does that even mean? Am I supposed to put my healing journey on display? Show my messy moments? Isn't he supposed to fall in love with the best, most polished version of me? Here's the truth. You don't need to be a finished product to be deeply loved. In fact, trying to be one can make love feel rigid, almost too perfect to be real. What truly captivates a man, the kind of love that keeps growing, is when he sees a woman who is evolving. Not in a rush to reach some final form, but confidently unfolding into who she's meant to be. Let's bring in a little philosophy to help this land. As Nietzsche once said, one must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. Now, don't get hung up on the word chaos. This doesn't mean drama or dysfunction. It means you carry creative tension inside you, the dreams you haven't lived yet, the bold moves you're still building up to, the parts of yourself you're still exploring. That's the energy of becoming, and it's powerful. Imagine a woman who is trying new things, growing her confidence, starting that project she kept putting off, reading, exploring, laughing at her own stumbles. She's not pretending she has it all figured out. And that is exactly what makes her radiant. He doesn't look at her and think, she's flawless. He looks at her and feels inspired, like he wants to grow with her. You're not a final product on a shelf. You're the story unfolding in real time. And when you let him witness that journey, your self-discovery, your evolution, your rising, he doesn't just love what he sees now. He falls in love with the possibility of who you're becoming, and he wants to be part of it. So before we move on, drop this in the comments and say it with intention. I evolve. He rises. Say it like a rhythm. Let it remind you, your becoming is not a burden, it's a gift. And next, we're stepping into something even deeper, how your emotional presence becomes a feeling he can't live without, not just love. Addiction. Let's go. Number 4. Be the emotion he can't find anywhere else. All right, listen closely. This one right here. It's not about doing more. It's not about being louder, sexier, or more entertaining than the next woman. It's about something much deeper, something rarer. It's about becoming the emotion he can't find anywhere else. The feeling that sneaks up on him in quiet moments and makes him pause, breathe, and wonder why no one else feels like you. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but what kind of emotion are we talking about? What does that even mean? Here's the answer. We're talking about the kind of emotional depth that doesn't just attract a man, it moves him. The kind of calm that doesn't put him to sleep, but wakes something up inside him. That sacred, soulful stillness, that safe place he didn't even know he needed until you walked in and he felt it. See, the world is full of stimulation. He can scroll through beauty, get attention in a text, or find excitement on any dating app. But what almost no one is offering him is depth. That rare feeling of being fully seen, accepted, and still challenged to rise. When he meets that, he doesn't always understand it, but he doesn't forget it either. Let's bring in a little Jung to make it even clearer. Carl Jung said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." That means when you and him really connect, like soul-to-soul connect, something shifts in both of you. Not because you're performing, not because you're trying to impress him, but because you're showing up in your full emotional presence, your softness, your truth, and that's alchemy. Real example? It's the way you don't flinch when he's vulnerable, the way you listen without fixing, the way you hold eye contact just 1 second longer, the way you smile like you already know who you are. That emotional atmosphere you bring. It's subtle, but it lingers. It becomes his escape, his comfort, his craving. So here's your moment to claim it. Type this in the comments and let it echo back to you every time you forget your power. I am unforgettable energy, because you are. And next, we're going even deeper into emotional discipline, the kind of self-control that turns softness into strength and makes him respect you and desire you. Stick with me. This is where everything shifts. Number 5. Let your emotional discipline be your elegance. Okay, let's talk about something that doesn't get enough credit in love, emotional discipline. Now, before your mind jumps to cold or distant vibes, let me stop you right there. This isn't about shutting down or bottling things up. This is about staying centered, grounded, elegant, even when emotions run high. And I get it. When you care about someone, emotions will rise. You're not made of stone. You'll feel things deeply. You might want to call, to react, to explain yourself, to fix it all in the heat of the moment. But here's the shift. True power, the kind that earns deep respect and deep desire, comes from the ability to feel fully and still choose your response with grace. As the Stoics teach, he who angers you conquers you. Let's break that down simply. If someone can easily shake your peace, they own a piece of you. And you, Queen, were never meant to be owned. So when you respond, not with panic, but with presence, you're showing him and the universe that your emotions don't control you. You lead them. That is elegance. That is emotional maturity. And that's unforgettable. Here's what that might look like in real life. Maybe he pulls back. Maybe he says something off. Maybe something just feels off, and every part of you wants to react, to question, to text paragraphs. But instead, you breathe, you sit with the feeling, you trust that you are still whole, and that nothing real can be taken from you by one weird moment. That calmness, that self-command, That's the moment he realizes you're not like the rest. Because while others might spiral, lash out, or chase validation, you lead with quiet strength. You don't need to win the moment. You already have something bigger, self-respect. That doesn't mean being passive. It means responding when you are ready, from a place of clarity, not chaos. So here's your affirmation, and I want you to type it in the comments with full conviction. My calm is magnetic. Say it, own it, live it. And coming up next, oh, this one's juicy. We're going to dive into why pleasure is temporary, but peace is unforgettable. Why you become his sanctuary, not just his thrill. Stay with me. This is where the game really changes. Number 6. Don't be the pleasure, be the peace. All right, let's take a breath together, because this one is deep, soft, and powerful. We're talking about something that lasts long after the spark, the flirtation, and the thrill wear off. And it's this: don't be the pleasure, be the peace. Now I know, pleasure gets all the attention. It's flashy, exciting, Instagram-worthy. But let's be real, pleasure fades. The moment passes, the thrill becomes routine, and suddenly he's chasing the next high. But peace stays. It lingers. It becomes the feeling he searches for when the world gets too loud, when his own mind gets too heavy, when everything feels like too much. And then he remembers you. Not because you gave him the biggest thrill, but because you gave him the deepest breath. Arthur Schopenhauer said it best: pleasure is never as pleasant as we expected it to be, and pain is always more painful. What does that mean? That pleasure often overpromises and underdelivers. It's fleeting. But emotional discomfort, drama, tension, stress sticks. And in a world full of surface-level noise and temporary highs, a woman who brings peace is not just wanted, she's needed. So what does this look like in real life? It's the way you speak, calmly, not coldly, the way you sit in silence without needing to fill it, the way your presence makes him feel like everything is okay, even when nothing else is. You become his reset button. Not because you're trying to fix him, but because your energy doesn't add to the chaos, it rises above it. And no, this doesn't mean becoming a passive angel floating through the room. It means knowing yourself so well, trusting your own center so deeply that he feels that steadiness every time he's with you. It's healing, it's grounding, it's unforgettable. Pleasure will make him curious. Peace will make him stay. So write this in the comments, say it to yourself, and wear it like a crown. I am his calm. Say it when you're doubting. Say it when you're glowing. Say it when the world around you feels loud and you choose to be still. And next, oh, now we step into balance, the beautiful dance between letting him lead and never losing your power. Yes, you can let him take the wheel without ever handing over your crown. Let's go. Number 7, let him feel free, and he'll choose you. All right, let's get into a truth that flips the usual dating script upside down. When you let him feel free, that's when he chooses you. I know. It sounds risky, right? Like, if I give him space, won't he just drift away? If I don't hold on, won't he forget me? But here's the twist. Control kills connection and freedom. That's what makes love real. Most people aren't afraid of love. They're afraid of losing themselves inside of it. So when a man meets a woman who gives him space to breathe, to think, to be himself, something unexpected happens. Instead of pulling away, he leans in. Not because he's being pulled, but because he's being invited. Let me say it clearly. You are not here to manage his choices. You're here to master your own energy. And when you do that, he feels it. It tells him, she's not here to cage me. She's not here to change me. She's here to be herself. And that makes me want to stay. Simone de Beauvoir said it beautifully. One is not born, but rather becomes a woman. In other words, womanhood, real, radiant, magnetic womanhood, is something you grow into. And when you become whole on your own, without needing love to validate you, you stop chasing and start attracting. You become a mirror that reflects not desperation, but confidence, not control, but freedom. And here's the wild part. Freedom doesn't push love away. It makes it stronger, because nothing feels better than being chosen, not out of obligation, not out of fear, but from a place of deep, clear desire. You become the woman he wants to return to, not because he has to, but because something in him needs to. So here's your reminder. You don't need to prove your worth. You are the prize. And the woman who lives in that truth doesn't chase love. She gives it space to find her. Now take a moment and drop this powerful affirmation in the comments. I am always chosen. Say it like a fact, because it is one. And next, we're stepping into the soul of this whole thing, how your presence, even in absence, becomes a memory he can't shake. You don't just love him, you leave a mark. Let's go. Number 8. Let your presence be the place he returns to. Okay, this is the final piece, the secret sauce, the soul of it all. If you've made it this far, take a deep breath, because this last truth is the one that doesn't just get him to fall in love. It makes him stay in it. And it's this. Let your presence be the place he returns to. Now I know you might be wondering, what does that even mean? How can presence be a place? But think about it. Have you ever been around someone who made you feel so calm, so alive, so you, that just being near them felt like coming home? That's presence. That's not something you fake. That's something you become. A man doesn't fall for words, not really. He might enjoy the conversation, he might like what you say, but the thing that pulls him back again and again is how he feels when he's around you. It's the laughter that softens his edges, the silence that doesn't feel awkward, the way he feels like more of himself in your presence, not less. That's not chemistry, that's connection. As Carl Jung once said, your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. What he meant is this: when you live from your inner truth, from your heart, not from trying to impress or win love, you become the kind of woman that awakens something in a man. Not because you tell him to change, but because your frequency, your peace, your wholeness, your energy reminds him of who he wants to be. You're not just someone he dates. You're the feeling he tries to return to long after the moment passes. Your energy becomes a soft echo in his quiet moments. Not because you chased him, but because your presence left a mark that nothing else could replace. So let this be your final affirmation, and type it in the comments like a promise to yourself, to love, and to the universe. My presence leaves a mark. Say it, feel it, own it. And remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being powerful in your own softness. You're not here to be everything for everyone. You're here to be the one he never forgets. And now that you know exactly how, the only question left is, are you ready to live it? So, to wrap this all up, if you've been wondering how to make a man fall in love with you more and more, it's not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more of you. Let him witness your growth, feel your peace, crave your presence, and experience the energy only you bring. That's what keeps love deepening, not games, but grace. If this spoke to your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a queen who needs to hear it. We're building love smarter, softer, and stronger, one soul at a time.